All right, so I will call to order this regular meeting of the Board of Public Works. This is held virtually through Zoom and other platforms this Tuesday, March 31st of 2020. First up is messages from the board. Do we have any messages from the board today?
I just want to again thank Adam, all the staff, and all the working crews that are out throughout this. Our deepest gratitude. Thanks for being out there and coming to work every day. Appreciate it.
Yeah, my appreciation as well. I also wanted to just comment that today is the last day of Women's History Month, and our Women's History Month was sort of truncated in the sense of celebration with everything going on globally. So I just wanted to extend my congratulations to those who were set to be recognized this month, and we look forward to celebrating you at another time. That was Salvik Hicks, Shatoya Moss, Beth Lodge Regal, Jessica Hain, and Tashara Perry. I hope that you all know that we're looking forward to celebrating you and all of the women who have been contributing to our community in many ways. I think it's only fitting that an all-women's board would meet on the last day of Women's History Month and be able to congratulate all of the women who work very hard in our community.
As a father of 2 daughters, thank you. Yeah, and thank you.
All right, next up is petitions and remonstrances. So this is the time when anyone who has a public comment that is not related to something on our agenda has the opportunity to do so. Does anyone have any public comment they'd like to make on an item that is not on the agenda?
Any members of the public would like to offer a comment at this time that's not on the agenda, for items not on the agenda?
Okay. I'm gonna say that's seeing none. Are you seeing none, Adam?
I'm seeing none, and we don't have anybody in the waiting room. So I think we would be free to move forward.
All right. Next up is the consent agenda. On the consent agenda, we have the approval of minutes from March 17th of 2020, and we have the approval of the payroll register. Do we have any items that need to be removed from the consent agenda? Seeing none. Do we have any public comment on items within the consent agenda? Seeing none. Do we have a motion on the consent agenda?
I move approval of the consent agenda.
And I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
We
Next.
just passed our first virtual motion.
The
little
it's a little celebrations we have to have here. All right, under new business, first up, we have approved 2020 Buskirk-Chumley Management Partnership Agreement.
All righty, I will take this one. This is Adam Wason, Public Works Director, on behalf of Larry Allen, our Assistant City Attorney, Alex Crowley, our Director of Economic and Sustainable Development, and Paula McDevitt, our Director of the City of Bloomington Parks and Recreation Department. We're asking that the board approve the 2020 Management Partnership Agreement with the BCTM Inc., that is the Buskirk-Chumley Theater Management Company Incorporated, and that will be to manage the Buskirk-Chumley Theater for the benefit of the Bloomington community. As we all know, the Buskirk-Chumley Theater is a destination in the heart of Bloomington, a performing arts venue that was remodeled in 1999. It's located right there on Kirkwood Avenue, and it's a major economic and arts draw for the city and downtown. The attached agreement reflects the discussions between the city, the owners of the building, and the Buskirk-Chumley Theater Management Inc. staff and their board of directors. So this is funding that's approved as part of the 2020 City Council budget, and it's to assist the Buskirk-Chumley Theater Management Incorporated with their duties related to the operation of the theater. There is a resolution that outlines the various duties that they are required to comply with as part of this agreement. Overall, the city shall provide $55,000 to support the operations. This is the same funding level as 2019, and that'll be paid in 4 quarterly payments of $13,750. Parks Operations General Division General Fund will also have $15,000 of the overall total, and then the City of Bloomington Redevelopment Commission would have $74,000 from the city's Consolidated Tax Increment Financing District. So overall, it's a slight decrease of the 2019 funding, and the amount of the total amount of funding for 2020 will be $144,000, and that's $3,200 less than 2019 funding amount. Overall, we are requesting your approval. In the packet, there is a resolution between all of the entities. That would be us, the City of Bloomington, the Board of Parks Commissioners, the Redevelopment Commission, and BCT Management, Inc. This talks about all of the duration of the agreement, the funding, how the funding can be used, how the funding can't be used, and has been something we've been working on for some time. So happy to answer any questions you may have. We do ask for your approval of this agreement.
Thank you. Any questions from the board on this item?
No, I didn't have any.
Great, thank you.
Is there any public comment or comments that were emailed or posted to Facebook?
None on Facebook.
What about Twitter? Couldn't
I
help
can only handle one at a time.
Well, the Board of Public Works is known for, its rigorous, public audiences. So I'm sure that they're rolling in. Any moment, you're going to be inundated with them. All right. If there are no other public comments coming in through the forum, which I don't see anybody joining,
no.
Do we have a motion on this item?
I move approval of the 2020 Buskirk-Chumley Management Partnership Agreement.
And I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next up, we have approve acceptance of public improvements with Patterson Point Development.
All right, I think we have Sarah Gomez. I'm going to unmute Sarah. Sarah, are you with us? Sarah, are you with us? All right, I'll present the staff report on Sarah's behalf. I know Craig and some others in the engineering department are on the call, but basically the request is to accept the public improvements associated with Patterson Park Phase 3. Tim Tishner has requested to have the public improvements associated with this development accepted by the City of Bloomington. These are sidewalks, curbs, street trees, stop signs, street name signs, curb ramps along 2 streets being accepted into the city inventory. This is Westplex Avenue, Isaac Drive, and Dalama Drive. And these are ranging in lengths from 0.053 miles to 0.069 miles. These are being initiated so city services can be received for these roads if accepted, and for Parks and Recreation to also accept 27 new street trees into their inventory. There's a $13,000 maintenance bond for the public improvements that extends through 2021 at this time. And based on Bloomington Municipal Code 20-09-330, these public improvements needed to be inspected and improved by the Planning and Transportation Department, and then the final approval process comes from you as the Board of Public Works. And then if that approval is received tonight, these will officially become part of the city's inventory upon recording. Planning staff, Sarah and her team, and Craig and his team have all inspected the public improvements, and we do recommend acceptance of the Patterson Park Phase 3 public improvements.
Thank you. Any questions from the board on this item?
No.
Any public comment on this item or comments through electronic means?
None on Facebook and none on Twitter.
All right. Do we have a motion from the board?
I approve the acceptance of public improvements with Patterson Point Development.
And I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next up, we have approved construction inspection contract with HWC Engineering for Adams Street Sidewalk and Intersection Improvements Project.
Good evening. This is Neil Copper with the Planning and Transportation Department. The board has seen this project a few times. It's for construction of sidewalk along the east side of Adams Street from Patterson Drive to Kirkwood Avenue. It also installs protected bike lanes and resurfaces the street within those same limits. And it replaces the traffic signal equipment at the intersection of Adams and Kirkwood. This contract is for inspection of that construction. We've negotiated a contract with HWC Engineering to perform those services. And they have that contract is set at a not to exceed amount of $106,701. And staff recommends approval of this contract.
Thank you. Questions from the board on this item?
No, I don't have any.
Any public comment from those in attendance or those electronically joining us?
None from social media at this time.
All right. Do we have a motion on this item?
I move approval of the construction inspection contract with HWC Engineering for the Adams Street Sidewalk and Intersection Improvements Project.
And I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next, we have approved contract with E1 for procurement of 2 tactical vehicles for Bloomington Fire Department.
All right. Once again, Adam Wason, Public Works Director, on behalf of Jennifer Lloyd, Assistant City Attorney, and Jason Moore, our City of Bloomington Fire Chief, and Jamie Washell, our City of Bloomington Deputy Fire Chief. These are coming to the board as a public purchase for E1 aerial fire apparatus, which will become its new, we are purchasing an E1 aerial fire apparatus and replacing existing unit number 396. This is being purchased from Fire Service Inc. through the HGAC Purchasing Cooperative. That's a public purchasing cooperative available to fire departments. The total price of the apparatus is $1.124 million, and it is scheduled for delivery in early January 21. As a Public Works Director, I will just note a few things here. We love it when we have new fire trucks because when we have old fire trucks, we have to work on them all the time, and they're expensive to work on, and they're hard to find parts for. And what I can be very proud of to say as part of our community, the city administration, the Public Safety Local Option Income Tax Board, they have found the importance of placing our capital at our police and fire departments and throughout the county. And this is another example of some of that. We've got, our inventory of fire trucks will be the youngest, I guess is the way I would say it, that it's ever been in terms of the age of our overall fleet there. So this is great stuff. These are the investments the community needs, and we do request the approval from the Board of Public Works for this fire truck.
Thank you. Questions from the board on this item?
So I guess there are 2 fire trucks though, right?
Yeah, there's the aerial. Yeah, did I not?
I think, well, there's 2 tactical vehicles that I saw. One was the $1 million one and one was the $549,000 one. And I guess that was my question is, what's the difference in cost? I know one was called the ladder truck and one was just called a fire engine. So I assume that there's some.
Yes, so the ladder truck is going to have the big aerial ladder unit, mechanical unit on the top. The others is not as sophisticated, doesn't have the ladder equipment, and overall between the two. So yeah, and there is a large discount that comes through this. So the 1.576 number is the total unit price before discounts, or total price of both units combined. And then after all discounts for both units, it comes to a total of 1.124 million.
Okay. So I just saw 2 staff reports. One was for the ladder truck of 1.12, and one was for 549,000.
Yeah. So there's the E1 fire engine. I'm sorry, we do have 2. We have 1 motion, but 2 staff reports here.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So let me make sure. Yeah, so both of the trucks are in the 1 motion, but there are the 2 staff reports that describe the 2 different types of trucks. So we've got the E1 fire engine, which will become the new engine number 1 that replaces unit 340. And that's the second staff report. The other one is the ladder truck, the aerial ladder truck that replaces unit 396.
Okay.
Yes, and so the total, each of them, the price per is listed in the staff reports, but then the total price is the 1.124 number because of the total discounts, is my understanding.
Okay.
Let me just double check that before I get that wrong. No, so so this is a total purchase between the 2 of the 1.6 million amount. Why don't we do this? Can we do 2 separate motions here? Let's do 1 motion for the aerial truck and then 1 motion for the engine truck at the individual unit prices listed in the staff reports. They were combined into 1 motion for the agenda, but I think it makes sense to split those out.
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds good. This is just a general question, and I know the board has approved a lot of different truck related equipment for the fire department. And we've probably discussed this in the past. What is the reason that fire truck equipment comes through the Board of Public Works, whereas other public safety equipment would normally go through the Board of Public Safety? So if you could just give a quick, overview as to
where the funding comes from. So these are purchased through a combination of different funding sources, and so that's the some general fund dollars are involved here, some public safety dollars are. So that's the overall reason we bring these to the board, and they become an asset of the city. A little differently, fire trucks do a little differently than some other like police cars and such, and so that's part of the reason. But it is based on where the funding's coming from.
Okay, thanks.
So there's multiple boards, there's multiple units that would probably be, the Public Safety Lit Board, the Board of Public Safety, and the Board of Public Works here. So we've got multiple layers.
Yeah. Any other questions on this item from the board?
No, thank you.
Any public comment from the Zoom room or social media?
None from social media at this time.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thanks. So do we have a motion on the ladder truck?
Yeah, I approve the contract with E1 for the procurement of the E1 aerial fire apparatus in the amount of $1,124,005.
And I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Next, do we have a motion on the other truck?
I approve the contract with E1 for procurement of the E1 fire engine, which is a price of $549,964.
And I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. All right. Next up, we have approved lane closure on South Franklin Road.
All right, I believe we have Jane Fleeg here with us and some their contractor representatives. So I'll turn it over to the folks from CBU and their contractor.
This is Jane Fleeg for the record. I don't know if our contractor is on here or not. I saw that he was trying to log in, but disappeared. Jason, are you out there?
I don't see Jason currently listed.
Okay. Is Paul Kerberg? Can Paul present his staff report?
Yeah, this is Paul. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Paul. Go ahead and present your staff report.
Okay, this is Paul Kerber with Planning and Transportation. Reynolds Construction that has a contract with City of Bloomington Utilities for a sewer replacement on South Franklin Road. Their work goes from around the curve by McDonald's up to 3rd Street, and they're requesting a lane closure in that section. The fire department will have direct access to and from 3rd Street, two-way traffic on that section up towards, I think it's Fairfield. And the lane closure will be from April 13th to July 10th. And we've reviewed their plans and we recommend approval for the lane closure.
Thank you.
I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, great. Questions from the board?
I didn't have any.
On the maintenance of traffic plan, it looks like the plan is to basically create a loop, like a one-way loop in that area. Is that right? Okay. So all the businesses, and I think it is all commercial properties through there, they will all have access by way of that loop through the duration with maybe occasional or intermittent, work right outside of each of the businesses.
Really only affects McDonald's and then the building to the north on Franklin Road. Everybody else, in terms of work in front of their building, everybody else, yes, will always have access to get back further back into this dead end street to access their businesses.
Great, thanks. And we don't anticipate any sort of issue like with large delivery trucks or anything like that coming in there. I'd assume that is a good portion of the traffic that goes through there to service the businesses.
The traffic maintenance is set up to be wide enough lanes to allow for truck traffic to get in and out.
All right. Any public comment, either through the Zoom room or social media?
No comment on social media at this time.
All right. Do we have a motion on this item?
I move approval of the request from Reynolds Construction LLC for the temporary lane closure on South Franklin Road from April 13th to July 10th.
And I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Jane.
Next up, we have staff reports and other business.
Again, Adam Wason, Public Works Director. I'm going to keep it brief tonight, just to say thank you to all of the city staff members, all the frontline employees out there continuing to provide city services as we go through these just unprecedented times. Just lots of thanks to our staff. A lot of thanks to all the staff at the city and throughout the state, and our police officers, our public safety officers at the fire department. Just hoping everybody stays safe. We have issued some news releases recently where some of our privately contracted construction projects are moving up. Our big Kirkwood maintenance project will kick off tomorrow with EMB paving. The EMB is also contracted for paving work on 2nd Street and on Arlington Road. I noticed today Arlington Road was completely milled and ready for pavement, so that was great to see. We are talking with all of our contractors and all of our staff members about following safety protocols, following all of the CDC recommendations on physical distancing whenever possible, and taking all precautions to keep the workforce, both public at the city and private through our contractors, safe in these just rather difficult and unprecedented times. So thanks to everyone. Thanks for everybody's patience with the meeting tonight. Seemed to go pretty well. And just stay safe, stay healthy, and practice everything with a little grace and patience, as I've said before.
Thanks, Adam. Next up, we have approval of claims. Do we have any questions from the board on claims?
I didn't have any.
And any lingering public comment or anything coming through right now?
Not seeing anything at this time.
All right. Do we have a motion on the claims?
I move approval of the register of claims in the amount of $398,410.12.
And I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. If there's nothing else this evening, then I will call for adjournment and thank everyone for getting us through the first virtual Public Works meeting, at least in recent history.
Thank you. Appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Thank you. See ya.